We're bear hunting. Tubbs and I decided to make a mad dash up here to the mountains and see if we could locate us a bear. We haven't been out as much as we would have liked, but that's life for you, especially when you got a family, you're running a business, and you got way too many projects. Not complaining. Rather be busy and healthy. We got a lot to be thankful for, but we just haven't been able to hit the woods like we would have liked to. So enough crying about all that. We are officially heading back to the truck now. I think by the time we get back to the truck, we'll have put in close to 5 miles. So at least we're getting some good exercise out of it, some good training for later in the year. We made it back to the truck. We had plenty of time before sunset, but like I said, it wasn't the best bear country. But I'm sure there's bears in there, we just can't see them. But we decided to go ahead and head down here to this little creek, get some fresh, cold Rocky Mountain water. And yeah, we thought that might be a good idea. We've got some electrolytes that we're gonna plug in, and don't worry, I've got a water filter, so we're not just drinking straight out of the creek, although I have done that before, but I'm not doing it right now. I've also had Giardia before. No fun.
Loading up, we're getting in the truck, and we got some Rocky Mountain spring water. We're about to head out, and let's try some of these when we get in the car. So, yeah.
All right, back at it. Day 2 of the last week of bear season. Me and Tubbs are at another spot that we've been back in here, so we know that the glassing opportunities are a little better. So we're excited about that. But we're gonna get back in here, get set up, get quiet. It's still pretty hot. It's gonna be a hot week all week, which is not optimal. You'll have that in the month of June. So we figured we'll get back in here, get some firewood, not because we're cold, because we got a T-bone that we want to cook. We're gonna split, and then hopefully by the time that's done, it's the evening and we'll see a bear and chase after it. So that's the plan. Well, we got a nice bed of coals forming. It's starting to cool off. Sun is starting to peek behind some of these mountains, and so we're starting to get some shade and some open spots on some of these roads. There's some old gated logging roads that are kind of grown over, but they're open enough and there's grass growing on them. Bears like to walk them things. We've seen bear scat on them. So we're really hoping that one will peek out as the evening kind of comes to a close and give us a shot. You know, depending on where that would happen, you know, we may have to drop down the canyon, climb up the other side, so timing is going to be important. But man, I really would like to see a bear. Be sweet. Really like that. But until we see the bear, we're gonna work on our steaks on this bed of coals. Got a couple cherries. I'm gonna start Carnivore next Monday, so a little less than a week away. Kind of excited about it. I've been contemplating starting the Carnivore diet. I don't even know if you can call it a diet. I think it's more of a life change, but I decided I'm gonna commit to it for 30 days, see what my body does, how I react to it. And essentially, if I make it 30 days and I really like what I'm seeing, how I'm feeling, then I may go ahead and go out to 90 days and just kind of take it in increments. But I've been thinking about doing this diet for, I don't know, probably a year and a half. Wanted to try it, haven't done it yet, haven't worked up the nerve. I've done kind of more of an animal-based diet, and that was very successful. But I always had cheat, and that looks like a bear. I always had cheat days, on the weekends usually. And so now I think I'm going to go ahead and commit to 7 days a week. That's why I'm calling it a lifestyle change. I've been following a couple different individuals on social media that have basically documented their process. And they've done the blood panels. They go get checked regularly. And I mean, there's no downsides at this point. And so I'd like to try it for myself. So we'll see how that goes. The reason I'm waiting for another week is I don't have the means to make my own, freeze dry my own food. I want to buy one of those freeze dryers. I just don't have the capital for it just yet. And they're the one I want is almost $4,000. So we're going to hold off until I get done with bear season. I'm going to close that out. I want to do one. If we don't get a bear tonight, then I'll end up doing one more backcountry bear hunt. And that's kind of the reason I'm holding off, is I don't want to start it and then fall off and then have to restart it. So I'm just going to wait until I'm done with that, start fresh. And then if I really like it, I might go ahead and pull the trigger on that freeze dryer and start making my own backcountry meals that are lightweight. I've been listening to a couple different guys that do that, and they found a lot of success. Essentially, they're carrying less weight. So basically, it's more calorie dense food that they're taking. So they have more calories with less weight per day. So I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. I'm really excited about it, though. So is God first in my life? That's the question that I've been wrestling a lot with here lately. All right, taste test. So I've always loved steak. There's something about cooking steak up here in the mountains, just over a fire.
Always take that.
It's freaking bomb. Love it.
I think he's missing out on all this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we may not get a bear, but we won't go away saying we was hungry. We got some delicious steak. It's about $12 for this steak, and it's gonna feed me and him. I think we paid another $5 for the bag of cherries that we won't finish. So let's split that in half. Say we eat half a bag of cherries, which I think is an exaggeration. We're at $14.50, let's say $15. I've spent more than that at McDonald's. Well, that was delicious. Did I chew on that bone like I was some kind of dog that had been starving? Yes. Am I ashamed of it? No. We have about an hour left of legal shooting light. No bears yet. We have seen some deer, but we can't hunt those. So while it's really cool to see, we'd prefer to see something that we can chase after. Because where we're at right now is if, unless it shows up in the next 30 minutes, or it's directly across the canyon, we probably won't have enough daylight to chase it down. So we're gonna go ahead and wait it out, though. You never know. Do I love him? Yeah, I do. If you were to come up to me on the street and ask me that question, I would immediately say yes, without any hesitation. But then I read verses like John 14:15, where Jesus says, if you love me, you keep my commandments. That's really been challenging me. That hit me hard. Because I have to ask myself, have I done that? Have I kept his commandments?
What were you doing?
Putting it in the fire.
Gotta put it out.
I'm trying.
Sometimes it's kind of nice to just let your feet air out. I've got these darn tough merino wool socks on, and they do a pretty good job at wicking moisture, but it's just nice to take it out of the boots, let them just air out. So I've been glassing about 30 minutes straight now. Only seen one doe, so could be better. But it's peaceful. I'd rather be doing this than sitting on the couch at home. One thing I miss about being up here is that the whole family can't be up here together. I shouldn't say can't, it's just not optimal, especially when I got two little ones who are very needy right now. So one of these days we'll get the whole family up here and make a whole event out of this, but until then it's just me and Tubbs. My little baby though, Kaya, she really wants to come, but I'm afraid that she wouldn't last very long and she'd be extremely noisy. That's a wrap. I've got a little bit of daylight left, but the reality is if we did see one even right now, it'd be hard to get close enough to get a decent shot. The gun that I'm shooting, I don't really feel comfortable going out much past 400 yards with it, just because I don't think it'd be ethical of me. I'm not familiar with how much carryover I'd need to be able to take the shot, so that would mean that we would have to dive off this side onto the other side, which we would not have enough time for, even if we were booking it. So we're gonna go ahead and call it, head back to the Xterra, head home, and I think at this point today's Tuesday, it'll be Thursday, and we'll be packing in for a couple nights to some higher country, hopefully with a little bit more glassing opportunities. Never been there, so should be interesting. But Jesus said that this one is the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, and with all of your strength. That's in Mark 12:30. That's everything. That's all of me, holding nothing back. So I've been taking a hard look at my priorities. You know that based on previous films. Not just what I say they are, but what my life actually shows in action. And I'm trying to live it out, one step at a time. I've started studying each part of that command: heart, soul, mind, strength. And I'm working through what it really means to love God with all of it, with everything. So this film and the ones to come are just me, your average blue-collar guy, trying to figure that out. How do I love God with everything that I've got?